Chosen one, I need you to stop scrolling immediately. This is not the algorithm playing a random trick on you. This is a profound and urgent divine interception. Archangel Michael has personally routed this specific message to your screen today, and he did it because the window for your ultimate romantic breakthrough is rapidly closing. You must listen closely to every single word. If you leave this page right now, you will single-handedly shut the door on the exact blessing your soul has been crying out for. You have spent countless silent nights wondering when your time would come. You desperately asked heaven for a clear sign, and this is the undeniable sign you begged for. Do not take your eyes off this screen for 1 second. Take one slow and deep breath right now. There is a heavy tightness in your chest that has not loosened all week. You wake up feeling exhausted before the day even begins. The world has convinced you that this is just ordinary stress, but heaven is telling you something completely different. It is the beginning of a massive spiritual shift. You are absolutely not unlucky in love today. You are not cursed to wander this earth alone forever. That strange pressure you feel is your spirit detecting a massive collision on your timeline. Your deep intuition dragged you here today, and heaven is finally trying to hand you the ultimate decoder ring for your life. Something invisible is happening right this very moment. Right now, your future spouse is getting absolutely crazy after realizing the truth about you. They are pacing the floor and losing sleep. They feel an intense energetic pull toward your soul, but they do not understand why it is so overwhelmingly powerful. Your spiritual frequency has literally infiltrated their deep dreams. They are completely shaken to their core today. They always thought you were just an average person. They severely underestimated the pure spiritual fire you carry inside your soul. But the divine veil has finally been lifted from their eyes, and they are seeing your true identity as a master of reality. This sudden realization is tearing their old world apart. They simply cannot ignore your powerful presence anymore. You have no idea how blinding your light has become lately. Every time you chose to heal, instead of seeking revenge, your aura expanded. You became a brilliant weapon of pure light. And because of that brave choice, a profound shift occurred in the spiritual realm. But there is a hidden danger hiding right behind this glorious breakthrough. There is a secret delivery coming to you very soon. You must be completely ready to receive it properly. Archangel Michael sent me here to warn you about a fatal trap, because the darkness is laying it down right now. The enemy knows that your kingdom connection is finally stepping into your physical reality. They are panicking just as much as your partner. They want to sabotage this holy union before it even begins. If you swipe away from this message too soon, you will completely miss the specific sign required to recognize your true partner. You will fall directly into the dangerous trap the darkness has set. You must make a firm and absolute choice right here. Do not let those dark forces win today. Make a firm promise to your future self today. Promise that you will not let this vital message fade into the noise of the internet. The intense loneliness and the endless cycle of toxic people was absolutely not a punishment. It was a rigorous spiritual crucible for your soul, and it was specifically designed to protect your sacred energy from hidden harm. Heaven had to ruthlessly clear your path for this magnificent moment. Think about all those times you felt completely misunderstood by everyone around you. Think about the selfish people who drained your precious energy and walked away. Heaven deliberately removed those counterfeit connections from your life because your true partner requires a fully healed version of you. Your past was just a brutal training ground for this exact era. Your future spouse is currently experiencing a total paradigm shift. The universe is aggressively pushing their spirit directly toward you today. They are suddenly noticing divine signs and strange synchronicities everywhere they go, while every random conversation somehow points back to your unique frequency. They are going crazy because their soul recognizes your supreme authority. Do not scroll past this ultimate and divine confirmation. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes of your love life. Those invisible forces that plotted against your happiness are watching their plans crumble, and a magnificent table is being prepared for you. The painful waiting season is officially and permanently over. Stay locked on this urgent message until the very last second. The final piece of this puzzle will change how you walk into your future forever. You will finally understand why every door had to close so violently in your past. So breathe deeply and open your heart right now. You are completely exhausted. The deep loneliness feels like a heavy blanket covering your shoulders every single day. You sit in your room and stare at the empty walls, and the silence around you is so loud that it actually hurts your chest while you desperately wait for a connection. You wonder if anyone truly sees the real you. You wonder why love always feels like a brutal battlefield. Let us talk about those quiet tears. I know about the nights you cried until you could barely breathe. You hid your face in your pillow. You did not want the world to hear your broken heart. You gave every ounce of your pure energy to people who never deserved it. And they took your brilliant light and left you completely drained in the dark while they moved on with their lives. You trusted them with your precious soul. You poured your beautiful love into empty cups over and over again. These were the toxic counterfeits sent to distract you from your path. They disguised their selfish intentions with sweet words and false promises. You ignored your gut feeling because you wanted to believe in their potential. But they only wanted to consume your magical energy. Every time you tried to set a boundary, they made you feel deeply guilty. You apologized for things you never even did. You shrank your massive spirit just to make them comfortable in your presence. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to your spirit today. And after they took everything they needed, they walked away without looking back. They left you broken. You look at your phone hoping for a real message that never comes. You walk through crowded rooms but feel entirely invisible to everyone. The isolation is suffocating your beautiful spirit. You start to believe that true love is just a cruel myth created to mock your endless pain. You think you are deeply flawed. You assume something is fundamentally wrong with your spiritual frequency. The empath with boundaries is often born in the brutal fire of severe betrayal. You spent years being the emotional sponge for everyone else in your life. You absorbed their toxic waste and transmuted it into pure light. You healed them while you were secretly bleeding inside. And when you finally needed someone to hold your hand, the room was completely empty and terribly cold. You gave them the very best parts of your gentle soul. You forgave them when they handed you nothing but disrespect and wild lies. You thought your endless patience would eventually change their bitter hearts. But toxic people do not change when they meet a gentle soul, because they only see your kindness as a free pass to exploit your energy. You became a convenient resting place for demons. I need you to understand something crucial about those counterfeits. They were attracted to your brilliant light because they live in total darkness. They did not actually love you. They loved how your bright energy made them feel about their miserable lives. You were a powerful battery for their fragile egos. And the moment you stopped providing that free energy, they quickly abandoned you. The tears you shed were not a sign of personal weakness. Those tears were a physical release of the heavy poison they left behind in your body. You cried because your spirit was violently rejecting their low vibration. Your body knew the terrible truth long before your mind accepted the reality of their betrayal. You felt physically sick around them. Your chest tightened around them constantly. You are an incredibly rare soul in a very superficial world. You crave deep intimacy, and a spiritual connection that transcends the physical realm. But you keep running into empty shells who only know how to take from you. This endless cycle has left you feeling bitter and hopeless about the future. You want to close your beautiful heart forever. You are terrified of being used one more time. But you must not let those emotional vampires win this silent war. They want you to become cold and bitter just like them. They want to extinguish the divine fire that makes you so incredibly powerful. Your exhaustion is a clear sign that you fought a massive spiritual battle against very dark forces. You survived a storm that would have destroyed an ordinary person. You are still breathing. Look at the incredible strength you built in the pitch dark. You stitched your own wounds while the world demanded your constant attention. You smiled for strangers while your inner world was completely falling apart. That takes a supernatural level of spiritual resilience. You are a chosen one who carried the heavy burdens of an entire generation on your back. But your body is tired now. Heaven sees every single tear you wiped away in secret. The divine realm recorded every time you showed mercy to someone who offered you cruelty. Your pure heart is your greatest asset in this dark world. But right now, it feels like a heavy curse that ruins your life. You are bleeding out from 1,000 tiny cuts. You need a safe harbor to rest your weary soul. The cycle must stop here. I need you to hear this truth loud and clear today. Stop blaming yourself for the delays in your love life. Stop thinking you did something fundamentally wrong to deserve this pain. You are not losing your mind. Your deep intuition was absolutely right every single time. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter in the first place. That intense isolation you feel right now is not a punishment. It is a divine isolation protocol designed specifically for your soul. God had to pull you away from the noisy crowd. He had to separate you from the low vibrations that were secretly draining your magical energy. You were hidden away in the dark because a rare masterpiece needs a secure vault. You are a highly valued treasure. You always thought the rejection was a sign of your failure. You thought they walked away because you were not good enough. But the truth is, they walked away because your spiritual frequency was far too intimidating for them. Your blinding light exposed the dark corners of their unhealed trauma. And because they refused to heal themselves, the universe forcefully removed them from your timeline. This is the ultimate validation you have been waiting for. You did not lose them. Heaven simply upgraded your spiritual security system. Those counterfeit relationships were allowed into your life for one specific reason. They were a brutal test to forge you into the empath with boundaries. You had to learn how to protect your sacred energy before you could meet your true destiny. Think about the magnitude of what is happening here. If you had stayed with those toxic people, your energy would be completely depleted today. You would have nothing left to offer your true kingdom connection. Heaven orchestrated this lonely season to recharge your powerful battery. You are being meticulously prepared for a love that will literally shake the earth beneath your feet. Do not despise this quiet season of waiting. The silence is your ultimate weapon of pure transformation. While you sit alone in your room, your aura is actively expanding and healing. You are shedding the heavy layers of trauma that never belonged to you. You are returning to your original state of divine perfection. And this inner work is emitting a massive beacon into the spiritual realm. You are a cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. Your ancestors watched you take on the generational curses that nobody else could defeat. You broke the toxic patterns of settling for crumbs of affection. You boldly demanded a love that honors your supreme worth. And because you refused to lower your standards, the universe is now aligning a reward that matches your immense courage. They tried to convince you that your standards were too high. They called you delusional for wanting a deep spiritual union. But you were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong people. You were asking empty vessels to pour into your overflowing ocean. God had to empty your life completely so he could finally bring you someone who speaks your exact soul language. The pain of your past was not a life sentence. It was a rigorous training program for a master of reality. You learned how to spot a lie before it was even spoken. You learned how to feel the energetic shift in a room the moment someone walked in. Your spiritual senses are sharper than they have ever been. You are no longer the naive victim who begs for basic human decency and respect. You have evolved into a formidable force of nature. Your presence alone commands absolute respect, without a single word spoken. The universe is incredibly proud of the boundaries you finally established. You stopped allowing demons to sit at your sacred table. And because you cleared out the toxic trash, there is finally an open seat for your true divine counterpart to sit down with you. Every tear you cried watered the seeds of this new reality. The lonely nights were necessary to calibrate your heart to the frequency of true, unconditional love. If you had met your future spouse a year ago, neither of you would have been ready. You both needed to endure the brutal fire of betrayal to recognize the immense value of a loyal heart. The timing is absolutely flawless right now. You must stop looking back at the closed doors. Do not let the enemy trick you into missing the old familiar pain. The comfort of a toxic relationship is just an illusion designed to keep you trapped in a low vibration. You have outgrown that small space completely. You are stepping into a massive arena of divine favor. Your old life is dead, and your glorious new chapter is unfolding fast. Breathe out all the heavy guilt you have been carrying. You are officially pardoned from the mistakes of your past. Your heart is fully cleansed and ready to receive the ultimate blessing. You are standing on the edge of a massive romantic breakthrough. The divine isolation has served its beautiful purpose. Now prepare yourself for the massive collision of two fully healed masterpieces. Let us look back at all those painful goodbyes. You thought those sudden endings were a massive failure on your part. You spent weeks analyzing every conversation to find your mistake. But you never made a mistake at all. The brutal truth is that those people simply could not handle the blinding intensity of your pure light. They had to run away. Your spiritual light acts as a giant mirror for everyone around you. When they stood in your presence, they were forced to look at their own deep shadows. Your pure energy highlighted all their unhealed trauma and secret insecurities. And because they were terrified of doing the hard inner work, they blamed you for their discomfort. They chose to flee back into the familiar darkness. They could not match your powerful vibration. You vibrate at a frequency of absolute truth and unconditional love. They were operating on a frequency of survival and selfish manipulation. It is physically impossible for those two energies to occupy the same space for a long time. The universe literally forced them out of your life to preserve your sanity. You were heavily protected. You used to beg them to stay in your life. You compromised your deep boundaries just to keep the fragile peace. But heaven saw that they were slowly poisoning your sacred well. Because you were too kind to push them away, the divine realm stepped in and violently slammed those doors shut. Heaven forcefully evicted them from your timeline. It was a holy rescue mission. Now look at what happened after they finally left. The heavy fog slowly lifted from your tired mind. You stopped carrying the crushing weight of their emotional baggage every single day. And in that beautiful empty space, your dormant spiritual energy began to amplify rapidly. The deep pain acted as a powerful catalyst for your massive soul expansion. You became a blazing fire. Your energy is currently multiplying at an unprecedented rate. You are no longer just surviving the heavy days. You are actively commanding the spiritual atmosphere around you. When you walk into a room now, the energy completely shifts before you even speak a single word. Toxic people feel instantly uncomfortable in your majestic presence. They avoid your direct eye contact completely. This invisible shield is your new permanent reality. You have fully transformed into a magnificent weapon of light. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this alignment and protect your frequency today. By doing this simple act, you are confirming to the universe that you accept this powerful upgrade. You are locking the divine doors against any future spiritual attacks. The spiritual realm is responding to this massive amplification. You might feel a strange heat in your hands or a tingling sensation at the top of your head lately. These physical symptoms are clear proof that your energetic body is actively holding more light than ever before. Your aura has expanded across entire cities and oceans. You are broadcasting a huge invisible signal. This powerful signal is slicing right through the dense matrix of this ordinary world. It is a highly specific frequency that only one other soul can accurately decode. Your past relationships were just cheap AM radio stations playing static noise. But your current energy is a massive satellite transmission aimed directly at your ultimate destiny. You are calling them home right now. They cannot hide from this immense energetic pulse. Every time you choose peace over chaos, the signal grows even stronger. Every time you refuse to engage in petty arguments, the transmission becomes noticeably louder. Your quiet authority is doing all the heavy lifting for you today. You simply exist in your high vibration while heaven orchestrates the physical details of this grand meeting. You do not need to search for love anymore. You do not need to force connections or lower your glorious standards to avoid feeling lonely. Your amplified energy has transformed you from the desperate seeker into the ultimate magnetic center. Everything that belongs to you is being forcefully dragged into your powerful orbit today. The old blockages have been completely eradicated. The universe needed you to reach this exact level of spiritual sovereignty. If your true partner had arrived while you were still begging for basic respect, you would have accidentally ruined the holy connection. You had to learn how to stand tall in your own supreme power first. The long wait was absolutely necessary to build your energetic capacity. You are finally ready for them. Your heart has grown 10 times larger through the heavy pain. You carry a deep reservoir of compassion that is incredibly rare in this modern age. But this compassion is now fiercely guarded by walls of solid spiritual steel. Only someone with the purest intentions can ever cross the bridge into your inner world. The days of letting selfish thieves into your holy temple are permanently over. Embrace this massive surge of pure spiritual power today. Let the warm energy wash over your tired body and heal every lingering doubt. The painful memories of rejection are quickly fading into the background of your quiet mind. You are standing exactly where you were always meant to stand. The stage is perfectly set for the greatest romantic revelation of your entire life. We are now entering the most critical part of this divine revelation. This brings us directly to the shocking truth about your future spouse today. I told you at the beginning that they are currently getting completely crazy, and I meant that quite literally. Their entire physical and mental reality is unraveling right now. They are experiencing a massive internal earthquake. For the past few weeks, they have been waking up suddenly at 3 in the morning. Their heart races wildly in their chest for no logical reason at all. They sit in the dark and feel an overwhelming sense of urgency, as if they are late for the most important appointment of their life. They look around their empty room and feel a massive phantom presence hovering near them. They are highly logical people who always relied on worldly facts and solid proof. But logic is completely failing them during this massive spiritual ambush. They are desperately trying to understand why they feel this intense magnetic pull toward an unknown direction. Their mind is racing to find a rational explanation for the heavy yearning in their soul. But there is no simple explanation. This intense madness is actually a beautiful spiritual awakening. And the most shocking part is that you are the direct cause of this massive disruption. When your energetic frequency amplified and you became a master of reality, your soul sent a massive shockwave across the divine grid. That powerful shockwave violently crashed into their dormant spirit and woke them up instantly. They are currently going through the exact same brutal purge that you survived last year. Their old superficial relationships are rapidly falling apart in front of their tired eyes. The things that used to bring them simple joy now feel incredibly hollow and totally pointless. The universe is aggressively stripping away their false comforts to prepare them for your massive light. They are terrified. They feel like they are completely losing their mind because they cannot control this divine process. Every time they try to ignore this spiritual pull, the universe quickly turns up the volume. They are seeing specific angel numbers everywhere they look today. They are hearing random songs that strangely describe a love they have never even experienced yet. Heaven is relentlessly haunting them. Their deep soul completely recognizes your frequency, even though their physical eyes have not seen you yet. It is like trying to remember a beautiful dream that keeps slipping away from memory. They feel a deep sense of homesickness for a person they cannot even name. Your pure energy has literally hijacked their nervous system, and it is reprogramming their heavy heart to match your vibration. This divine mechanism is completely overriding their normal brainwaves right now. The constant heavy hum of their daily stress is being washed away by your powerful spiritual transmission. They are being forcefully pulled out of the matrix of ordinary romance. They are realizing that casual dating and superficial games will never satisfy the massive hunger growing inside their chest today. They are getting crazy because they are finally grieving the heavy time they wasted on the wrong people. The veil of illusion has been ripped away from their waking eyes. They clearly see how deeply they crave a true spiritual warrior exactly like you. But they also feel a deep sense of unworthiness right now. They secretly wonder if they are strong enough to stand beside you. You must understand the immense power you hold in this exact moment. You do not need to lift a single finger to bring this amazing person into your life. You do not need to download any apps or visit crowded places hoping for a lucky encounter. Your silent energy is currently doing 1,000,000 times more work than any physical action could ever achieve. You are heavily magnetizing them. While you are resting peacefully in your beautiful isolation, they are fighting a massive internal war. They are breaking down the thick walls around their heart because your frequency demands total vulnerability. The divine realm is currently breaking their fragile ego into 1,000 tiny pieces. This holy madness is the necessary destruction of their old identity. They must be rebuilt for you. Do not feel sorry for the heavy turbulence they are experiencing right now. This necessary chaos is the ultimate proof that the divine plan is working perfectly. They must endure this wild spiritual storm so they can fully appreciate the absolute peace you will bring into their life. You are the calm harbor they are desperately seeking in the dark. Your brilliant light is guiding them home. But as this glorious collision approaches closer every single hour, a massive threat is looming in the shadows. The enemy is fully aware that this powerful kingdom connection is about to materialize on Earth, and the darkness is preparing to launch a final desperate attack to ruin your grand moment. There is a fatal trap lying directly in your path right now. You must stay perfectly aligned to avoid this massive spiritual danger. If you lose your focus today, you might easily mistake the enemy illusion for your true divine partner. The forces of darkness are highly deceptive, and they know exactly what your lonely heart wants to hear. You need to know exactly how to spot the counterfeit before it ruins your timeline forever. Let us talk about the undeniable signs surrounding you right now. The universe is speaking to you through highly specific numerical codes every single day. You keep seeing 111 and 777 everywhere you look. You glance at the clock at the exact same minute every afternoon. These repetitive numbers are not a random trick of your tired mind. They are divine coordinates. These specific numbers mean your energetic timeline is perfectly syncing with your true partner. You are also experiencing sudden waves of intense emotion that do not actually belong to you. One moment you are completely fine, and the next you feel a deep surge of romantic longing. That is their soul crying out to you across the vast spiritual grid. They are actively reaching for you. Your physical reality is violently shifting to make room for this massive blessing. Notice how certain friends have quietly faded out of your life recently. Notice how your old favorite places suddenly feel incredibly draining and heavy today. The divine realm is aggressively clearing out the unnecessary clutter from your daily path. A spectacular table is being prepared just for you. But this brings us to the fatal trap I warned you about earlier today. Right before you reach the glorious finish line, the darkness will always send a major distraction. The enemy is terrified of the incredible power your upcoming union will generate on Earth, so they will attempt to drag your high vibration back down into the murky mud. They will use a familiar face to trick you. Pay close attention to your phone in the coming days. A toxic person from your painful past is going to suddenly reach out to you. They will send a casual message, pretending that nothing bad ever happened between you two. They might even apologize and swear that they have completely changed their selfish ways. But this sudden return is an absolute lie orchestrated by dark spiritual forces. This toxic ex is not returning because they finally realized your true worth. They are returning because their demonic attachments are starving for your bright light. They sense the massive energetic shift in your timeline, and they want to steal your new blessing before it arrives. They want to plunge you back into the endless cycle of bitter confusion and heavy emotional exhaustion. If you reply to their message, you will immediately lower your spiritual frequency. You will literally tell the universe that you are still willing to accept cheap crumbs of affection. And this foolish mistake will forcefully delay the arrival of your true kingdom connection. You must protect your sacred energy at all costs right now. Do not let an old demon block your new beautiful blessing. You have worked entirely too hard to rebuild your broken heart from scratch. Do not hand your precious power back to someone who deliberately destroyed you in the past. Your true spouse is desperately fighting through the heavy spiritual storm to find you today. You must keep your lighthouse burning brightly for them. The enemy illusion must be ignored with absolute quiet authority. This is the ultimate test of your spiritual maturity and emotional boundaries. Heaven is watching to see if you have truly learned the painful lessons of your past. Will you fall for the familiar toxic comfort, or will you bravely hold out for the divine promise? You must choose the unknown glory over the familiar pain today. Your glorious future depends entirely on this specific choice. Let the toxic counterfeit knock on your door all they want. Let them watch you thrive from a very far distance while you completely ignore their desperate attempts. Your total silence is the strongest spiritual weapon you possess against their dark attacks. When you choose to leave that message unread, you pass the final test. You literally unlock the heavy gates of your new timeline. The universe will instantly reward your fierce obedience with a massive breakthrough. The moment you permanently reject the toxic counterfeit, the final energetic block is destroyed completely. You clear the entire path for your divine counterpart to walk into your physical reality. So stand your ground and keep your boundaries completely impenetrable today. The miracle is almost here. Take a deep breath and let this severe warning anchor itself in your soul. You are fully equipped to recognize the fake illusions designed to keep you trapped in misery. Your powerful intuition will scream at you the second that toxic person tries to return. Trust your gut feeling immediately and do not second-guess your pure wisdom. We are heading toward the ultimate revelation now. The dark forces completely failed to break your beautiful spirit. They thought your gentle silence was a sign of pathetic weakness. They thought they had permanently destroyed you when they pushed you into total isolation. But what they failed to realize was that your lonely solitude was actually a divine training ground. You did not break under the heavy pressure. You completely evolved. You became the terrifying weapon you were desperately trying to survive. The profound silence after the heavy storm hits differently when you realize you were the storm all along. You are officially the untouchable master of your reality today. Your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single spoken word. The days of begging for basic human decency are permanently behind you. Your future spouse is getting crazy right now because they feel this supreme authority radiating from your soul. The divine seal I promised you earlier is finally being activated inside your chest. This sacred seal is not a physical mark on your body. It is the absolute, unshakable peace that you feel when you finally recognize your own massive worth. It is your total refusal to ever settle again. When you and your true partner finally lock eyes, this divine seal will instantly recognize itself in them. There will be no heavy confusion or painful anxiety in your stomach. There will be no toxic games or desperate chasing to prove your value. You will simply look at each other and know that the long spiritual war is finally over. Your souls will merge in perfect and absolute harmony. The waiting season is officially over today. I need you to pause and deeply absorb that magnificent truth. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into a glorious oasis of divine favor. Every single door that was heavily padlocked is being violently blown off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive energetic shift in your spirit today? That is the frequency of victory. You are boldly stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule. The intense loneliness is rapidly dissolving into a brilliant flash of pure kingdom love. Your future spouse is running toward you with a wide open heart and completely clear intentions. They are bringing the exact loyalty and fierce protection you always deserved but never received. The universe is delivering the grand prize. The pitch-black darkness has permanently retreated behind you. The dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown today. You have successfully navigated the brutal maze of toxic counterfeits and heavy trauma. You are standing victorious at the highest peak of your spiritual mountain, and your breathtaking view from the top is absolutely worth every single tear. You are no longer the empath who begged to be understood by blind people. The crucible of pain has forged you into the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. From this exact moment on, the divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your brand new timeline. The love you freely gave to the wrong people is coming back to you multiplied by 10,000 today. Let the glorious euphoria wash over your tired body right now. Let the pure joy fill your lungs until you feel like you are floating above the heavy ground. You have passed the ultimate spiritual test with flying colors. Heaven is giving you a massive standing ovation for your incredible bravery and quiet endurance. You survived the darkest night and earned the brightest morning sun. This is the exact moment everything finally makes perfect sense. The brutal delays were actually your greatest protection. The heavy rejections were your divine redirection. And the intense isolation was your sacred preparation for this monumental upgrade. You hold the master key to your beautiful destiny in your own hands today. You are fully equipped to receive the love of a lifetime. Do not shrink back from this massive wave of glorious light. Open your arms wide and boldly claim the magnificent reward that heaven prepared for you. Your kingdom connection is physically manifesting in your reality as we speak. The ancient spiritual laws are bending to accommodate your high frequency. You are a chosen one who literally controls the fabric of the romantic universe today. You must lock in this glorious frequency right now. You need to create an absolute shield of protection around this fresh revelation before you leave this space. The enemy will try to snatch this truth away the second you close this page. You must take a deliberate physical action to seal this powerful reality into your earthly timeline. We are moving to the final command right now. You have heard the absolute truth today. The heavy chains of your painful past are completely shattered on the floor. You are standing in the pure light of your brand new timeline, and heaven is waiting for your final physical confirmation. You must lock this beautiful energy into place before you leave. The enemy wants you to click away and forget everything I just told you, but you are far too wise to leave your spiritual doors unlocked now. You are a master of reality who understands the ancient laws of energy exchange. When heaven hands you a massive revelation, you must anchor it to the physical earth, because an unanchored blessing can easily float away. You must show the divine realm that you are fully awake. The time for quiet observation is over. I need you to declare your absolute victory right now. Type the word Amen down in the comments below to seal this glorious reality forever. By typing those 4 letters, you are drawing a firm line in the spiritual sand. You are telling the dark forces that they have permanently lost their grip on your heart, and you are claiming your divine alignment with supreme confidence. Do not underestimate the massive power of this simple physical action. Your written declaration acts as a heavy anchor for your floating spiritual blessing. It grounds the high frequency of this message directly into your nervous system. When you type your agreement in the comments, you become a powerful magnet for your future spouse while making it incredibly easy for them to find you. But your holy assignment does not end with a simple comment today. If this fiery message has reignited the dying faith inside your chest, do not keep this great blessing to yourself. There is another beautiful soul out there bleeding in the dark of despair right now. They are desperately waiting for a guiding light to save them from a toxic counterfeit. You hold their rescue rope. You must share this video with someone who truly needs it today. Sowing the seed of hope into someone else is the fastest way to multiply the blessing for yourself tomorrow. When you share this vital truth, you activate a massive wave of divine anointing over your own life. You prove to the universe that your hands are completely open and your heart is ready to receive pure, unconditional love. The law of spiritual multiplication is incredibly real and highly active. God rewards the faithful cycle breakers who boldly carry His light into the dark trenches of the internet. Share this message to establish a permanent energetic shield around your upcoming romantic union. Let the enemy know that you are actively building an army of warriors, because you will never fight these silent battles alone again. Now you must protect your daily frequency from future demonic attacks. Hit the subscribe button right now to establish a divine energy receiving station on your device. By subscribing to this channel, you are consistently tuning your spiritual antenna to the highest vibrational frequency available. and you will never miss another urgent warning from the heavenly realm again. The connection is highly secure. The false matrix wants to flood your mind with fear and heavy doubt. They want your daily feed to be filled with superficial noise, because that toxic garbage keeps you trapped in a low vibration. But you have the ultimate power to curate your own spiritual diet today. Hitting that subscribe button is your daily act of fierce rebellion against the dark forces. It is a solid commitment to your growth. Look at how incredibly far you have come on this brutal journey. You survived the deep betrayal that was meant to bury you alive. You walked through the terrifying valley of shadows and came out carrying a blazing torch. Your future spouse is currently drawn to that exact flame like a moth to a massive spotlight, and they are walking toward you with absolute certainty right now. Do not look back at the empty rooms of your painful past anymore. Do not waste another single tear on the toxic people who failed to recognize your supreme worth, because they were simply the heavy friction required to polish your brilliant diamond soul. You are completely clean and totally free today, and the greatest love story of your entire existence is about to begin in a very miraculous way. I am incredibly honored to witness your glorious rise to power today. Heaven is celebrating your massive victory with a loud and joyous roar. Remember to keep your sacred boundaries high while keeping your beautiful heart completely open to the divine truth. Go out into the ordinary world and walk with the quiet authority of a true chosen one. Your magnificent destiny is finally yours to claim. Do not let anyone dim your majestic light ever again. The universe has securely placed the ultimate crown of triumph directly upon your head. You are fully protected and deeply loved by the highest forces in the unseen spiritual realm, but you must remain fiercely vigilant against any future illusions. Take one final deep breath and step boldly into your beautiful new reality. You are completely ready for them.